All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chang Gang podcast. This is episode 44 featuring redxr98. Red, thank you so much for being a guest on today's show. What's up, man?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing pretty good. A little nervous, but excited at the same time.
Of course, anyone would be. It's totally fine. But anyways, we've been planning this for a while, so now this is the opportunity to get to have some sort of deep dive in regards to your life.
The mysterious life.
What's up, guys? Make sure to drop Red a follow if you haven't already. We have two commands, !guest, which has a direct link to his Twitch channel, and there is !podcast to get a feel for why I'm doing this. In short, it's a way for me to get to know my friends on a more personal level. And on the top right, you can see the panel. This is episode 44. And on the bottom right, you could even follow both of us on Instagram. So,
hell yeah.
That. Thank you for the hydrate. Lexi, chat, please keep in mind that I'm going to be typing to you guys so I don't interrupt. Let's get started with a brief introduction about yourself and include some of your hobbies and interests.
Okay, cool. Basically, I'm a film major at Cal State San Marcos. Besides streaming, I'm just anything that's like really nerd related. So comic books, anime, movies, gaming, even some types of like old music. You can usually find me being able to talk about that non-stop. I lived in SoCal all my life. 23 now, and oh geez, I'm getting old.
What names do you go by?
Oh, that's actually funny, because the funny story about that is that I have like about 60 nicknames because of how my name is. So my name is really weirdly spelled, so people will not be able to like, 1, spell it, 2, pronounce it, and 3, will misread it. So the most common now is Jer, Germ, or the other one that people have used is Gibbles and Giblet. So that's like related to my regular name, and then on Twitch is like Red, Rector, and as some know, Rectum, cough cough, calling you out, cat, cough.
Rectum.
Yeah, it's like it's been a journey through how people have like got my attention.
How do you actually pronounce your name though?
So traditionally it's Yeromi, like it's like a Y, because in Hebrew there's no g sound in Hebrew, so it'll be like a Y. But it's my dad's way of saying is Yeromi, and then everyone can just pronounce it Jeremy.
Okay. How would you describe your own personality?
I'm very introverted at first, so people can like talk to me and like instantly be friends with me. I don't know, I just have like that type of personality apparently, where like it feels like after one conversation we knew each other for a long time. And then very rambly when it comes to what I like to talk about, and outside of online, I'm very quiet. I'm just really good at acting charismatic for the retail world, you know? Gotta make the money somehow.
Got it. Okay, and so speaking a little more on that, so would you consider yourself more of an introvert or an extrovert? Say there's a scale of 1 through 10, 10 being extroverted.
I think it'll be probably a 4.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely leans towards introvert, but I once you crack open my shell, I'm just like non-stop.
Okay, cool. So that's a brief overview. Let's talk about the very beginnings now, like your childhood. We're going way back. You could talk about the day you were born for all we know.
I haven't grown much.
Okay, let's talk about your background. What do you have to say about that? Like, what was your upbringing like?
So this is really funny because I was born Jewish, but my mom's Filipina, and so her side's Catholic. My dad's side is like 13 types of white and Caucasian, primarily like Russian. So I got to have Christmas and Hanukkah all my life on both sides of the family. But growing up, I was always like the short, fat kid. And even till now, it's like out of all the people I know, I'm still like one of the shortest people. And yeah, growing up, it was really funny because I always had this feeling that when I was younger, I didn't really know where I fit in. I was kind of like that, like the avatar of both, being too white for my Asian side of the family and then too Asian for my white side of the family. So it was like a weird toss up. I was always really quiet. My mom would dress me up like, I had one picture where I was like in suspenders and like a button up shirt. And it was, you can see it everywhere. I was like a really pale baby too. My parents said like I was really quiet and very organized with my toys. Like I would spend hours for fun organizing all my toys growing up. But now I'm just like, I know where things are. I'll be able to find them. Study wise, it's at first, the usual like, oh my god, your kid's a genius. He can do so well in math. And then now I'm just like, math is the worst. I want to stay away from math. And I think that's slowly how I got into being more of a creative film major instead of the whole idea of time to go into banking or be a doctor. Yeah.
So, are you an only child?
No, I am the eldest of 3. I have 2 younger sisters, and one is actually just graduated from high school, and instead of going to college, she's actually going to do into the workforce. She's going to just start working, and my youngest sister is going into senior year of high school, and she's trying to work 2 jobs, and I'm so proud of them both. They definitely got more of the quote-unquote talents of the family, but that's okay. They deserve it.
Okay, so specific questions about that. What was your relationship like with your parents and your siblings back then versus now?
So my parents were always fighting when I was younger. Thankfully they don't as much now. It's like almost rare now that they ever get into an argument. Usually it's just my mom kind of pissing my dad off somehow. My parents, I was always really close to my dad more than my mom. My mom was more controlling and, like the stereotypical, like very OCD, nagging type of emotionally draining type parent. But she was like working for so long as well, and I definitely got closer to my dad on everything. And then my dad also had like pretty bad anger issues because he's also bipolar. Well, was diagnosed bipolar before. We need like an updated thing on it. But so I inherited a lot of his traits and my mom's traits, and I was always pulled between both when they were fighting. And then once my sisters were born, I kind of had to take over for kind of watching over them while my parents were either working or arguing. And my sisters, they were really close, but they also like to fight and argue. I tried not to argue with almost anyone in the family, but they're very confrontational. It was kind of funny how that all turned out. And now it's just like everyone, my parents are divorced but still live together, so it's kind of like the whole idea of like they're together but not together. And my sisters are like super close, like glue. They are always hanging out. It's so nice to see because before it was like so toxic, and yeah, there was a lot of growing between all of them, and then me just kind of staying emotionally stronger just to keep going because wow, it was an adventure.
Wow, I see.
Yeah.
A lot of maturing to do. at early age?
Very much so. Yeah, taking care of both of them. And my grandma lived with us for a while, and she basically raised me more than my parents did until she moved out. And once my sisters were born, um, my parents were a little bit more like attentive, but more attentive to them when it comes to actually raising them. When it was like actual parenting things, then my parents definitely stepped up. It's just that I remember my grandma taking care of me way more than my parents did when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned that your mom was more strict or controlling back then. So whenever you did act out, how did your parents handle discipline in your family?
The funny thing is, I rarely acted out. I was a very like rules are rules type person because of how they brought me up. But when I lied, uh, my dad would get angry at me. He would ground me. That's when he was like going through a lot of his anger issue stuff. So like, it was a lot of like just yelling like, "You why are you lying?" Blah blah blah, stuff like that. My mom, very similar. Um, but yeah, my mom would like, "You need to be more like your cousins." Blah blah. That's typical like, uh, Filipino mentality of comparing you to your more successful cousins is what I dealt with most of the time. So there was a lot to live up to growing up, standard wise.
I see.
Yeah.
So were you always in SoCal for your life?
Yep. Born and raised here. The only times I ever left SoCal was just to go on like a small vacation. I went to Vegas when I was really little, and then the Philippines once when I was like 3. And then the most latest time that I've been out of SoCal area was when me and a few friends went to the East Coast for a vacation before like a couple years before COVID hit.
Got it. So talk about the diversity in your area. Like, how would you describe your city, the people around you, all of that sort?
It definitely lives up to its name, calling it Manila Mesa. We got a huge like Asian demographic. It's kind of nice with that too, because that way I can learn more about and connect to my Asian side. And then because I don't know Tagalog or anything like that. I learned Hebrew when I was younger because I went to Hebrew school, so I connected to more on my dad's side on that. But like going to school, it was 90% Asian mainly. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty funny too. So
I see. And outside of school, how did you like navigate your time? What did you do?
a lot of cartoon binging, lots of cartoons. Sitting down in front of the television. Every now and then I'll grab one of my comic books, read some Spider-Man, X-Men, Batman, all the like the mainstays. My dad had a huge collection of comic books, and when I was home, yeah, it was just cartoons, eating, comics, and the toys, and then homework in between those times until like I could play more video games with my dad, because he raised me on the PlayStation 2, and even up to the PlayStation 3. We were like, wait, Simon knows Shalom. Oh my god, that was impressive. Shalom. I like on the corner of my eye I saw Hebrew. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. But yeah, it was every like little piece of nerd culture you could think of activity wise. I was in it. I also did a lot of drawing and doodling. It's a lot of doodling.
Got it. We'll definitely talk more about your interests later on. Let's transition from here. Let's talk about school, your education. Give us an overview of what you basically went through. You could start with elementary, transition to middle school to high school, and then I'll ask you specific questions from there.
Cool. I started my education in preschool with my Hebrew school, and then continued through with that into when I started at Hickman Elementary, and that was a lot of fun. Probably where I peaked in academics. Then middle school was like that weird set of years where everyone just like either loved or hated it. I hated it. High school was kind of like a roller coaster. Every year was like, freshman year was really bad, then sophomore was a little better, junior year was like those any mini dips, and so on and so forth till I graduated. So it was like it was a roller coaster through it all.
Like specifically academics?
Yeah, that was dang. Socially, it was a very small group of friends at a time, and I basically stayed with them since end of elementary till now. Like I live with two of my roommates are friends with me, and I've known them since end of 5th grade and then beginning of middle school.
Wow, way back.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what clubs and activities like kept you busy during your time in middle school, high school?
So besides the whole JLC like Hebrew school thing, there was like a youth group that we could do where we go like small activities here and there. I participated in a few of those growing up, and then in middle school, me and my friends and a bunch of their friends, we made a science club, which we held weekly, and that was a lot of fun. It's the only time I could be out of the house, because it was either school, home to take care of my sisters. And then in high school, I did robotics club for like not even a month, and we only went in there to use the computers to play Minecraft. But other than that, I didn't really do much extracurricular activities with like school related things.
Understood. Okay. How about when it comes to sports? Were you into that?
Oh, sports? Not really. I was the stereotypical nerd that liked to sit and play games. I was never really athletic. So I think the closest to sports that I really invested my time with was a little bit of martial arts, and then only martial arts.
Huh. Okay, no problem. Speaking of the stereotype, you classify yourself as like nerd. What did people like view you as in high school?
So in high school there was a story called Burn Book. And that's where people would just like rip into people anonymously, like all the names. I was one of the top top names in that book, and it was only up for like not even 2 days. So people didn't like me as much in high school. It was either you knew me and you hated me, or you actually got to know me and could make a decision yourself. I had like a very small, like handful of people that I could call real friends in high school.
Wait, why is that though? Like, why would people hate you without knowing you?
People would hear stories. I would sometimes say like random things because a lot of my humor is like pop culture references or off the wall humor, dry humor. So people didn't understand that. And then also knowing how short I was a germaphobe, and I was also Jewish, kind of tipped some people's ideas about me. And then no one would like outright bully me. It was like very rare you would see outright bullying. It's just primarily virtually people would just spread rumors.
Yeah.
So I was a big victim of that in high school and parts of middle school.
You touched upon the next subject, so bullying, right? You mentioned that there was no direct bullying, but there were like rumors and stuff. Have you ever encountered any sort of bullying, like either you getting bullied or witnessed someone else getting bullied?
Yeah, actually. Um, in middle school, one of my friends was kind of getting picked on by this group of kids during lunchtime, and I think this is where like the anger issue rumors started because I was the only one to stand up and I made a scene. I got really loud. Um, and then in high school, oh wait, no, also in elementary school, this one guy was like the biggest bully. He would push me around um and copy my homework, and he would like make it seem like it's almost like a playful way, like we're friends and he's doing because we're friends.
Yeah.
And he made my third to fifth grade a living hell. And then I stood up to him in end of fifth grade on the last day of school, and I didn't see him after seventh grade. And like a year ago, I ran into him at Target, and he's in the army, and he actually like stopped me and like apologized to me, and that was like, whoa, that's
Wow.
insane. The last time I was like bullied before college was it was like two guys. One guy who I'm now like pretty decent friends with, he was kind of doing like similar things, just like kind of name calling, teasing. But once he got a girlfriend, he kind of woke up, matured, and apologized to me. He actually came to my classroom before our period started and apologized to me in front of my class, which is really cool. And then this other guy was just insufferable. He's kind of one of the reasons as well that people thought I had anger issues or was deemed a crackhead, because he knew I was germophobic, so he took my water, ran around, tossed in the trash, and I got so mad. I ran and chased him around the classroom, and I grabbed a pencil, and that's when the teacher wanted to step in. Is like, whoa, you guys need to calm down. I didn't get sent to the principal office. No one got punished. He's like, you need to calm down, Chairman. I'm like, I need to calm down? This guy, like... But that was, like, the last bit of, like, real bullying I had.
So you stood up to them?
Yeah. It took a lot for me to step up, but once I was, like, pushed over the edge, I made my voice clear.
I see. And when it comes to like rumors being spread, how did you cope with that? What was your way of like getting out of that?
I kind of just like, once I found out about them, I knew exactly who said it. It was pretty easy to find out who said what in high school. So I kind of like just cut them out of my life. I was like, okay, I don't need these people if I were friends with them. And if I wasn't, I'd just be like, okay, well, that sucks, but they just don't know me. You know, I had to tell myself that every day. Because yeah, I definitely made a name for myself around Mira Mesa.
Okay, aside from bullying, have you ever found yourself in a physical altercation, fights?
Actually, no. I've never been in a fight yet. The closest is like me and my friends like wrestling and sparring. I've never been in a real fight. I'm scared. I don't like getting hurt. Yeah.
Okay, that's not a bad thing. And talking about getting hurt, have you ever sustained any severe injuries in your life?
I don't think so, actually. I was really sheltered and a turtle type of kid. I think the worst I had gotten injured was one time when I was at Rock and Jump, when I used to work there. We were jumping into the stunt bag, and it was during a staff party, and we were all jumping in the stunt bag, and my friend's like, don't worry, I'm gonna jump in with you. I'm like, dude, no, you're gonna land on me. He's like, no, and before I could get up, he landed right on my leg and on my knee, and I was so scared. It was like so close. I was like, no, please do not tell me it's broken. And I was like, thankfully it just kind of got a little swollen, and it was just really hard to walk for like a couple of days, but nothing, no full damage. And Josh knows that story because he was there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. It's something we can laugh about now.
Okay. So it sounds like Hebrew school was a big part of your life. Let's talk
Mhm.
more about that. So talk about how you got into it and your full-on experience, whatever you have to say about it.
Yeah, Hebrew school was a really cool experience because growing up Jewish in my area, there was like no Jews. I think out of my graduating class until high school, I met maybe 4 Jews out of the whole area.
Mm-hmm.
So being in a small spot with a bunch of Jews around, it was really nice. I felt a sense of identity growing up there. And we were like the most poor people there too. So the congregation actually gave us a lot of like discounts for my tuition just so I could keep going. And I had perfect attendance from preschool all the way until like freshman year high school, and I got bar mitzvah there.
Wow.
Yeah, I was. And then once people found out I was Jewish, like, do you want to be my friend? So usually it would be a yes. Other times it'd be like, bad joke, but okay.
So what did you do like exactly at the school, and like how many hours did you have to commit per week, let's say?
Um, Depending on the year, as like I grew up, we learned like the alphabet, how to conversate, read, write, the culture, the history,
Mm-hmm.
everything that you could think of like as a full on like uh curriculum learning about your culture. It was so cool, it was so fun, and we would go to temple, our synagogue, and we would have our like Sunday prayers, Friday and Saturday nights were Shabbat. So Friday night was service, Saturday morning was service, Sunday was school, and then once I got into like the upper grades, it was Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. It was like 3 hours each day, and
Mm-hmm.
then plus service, which is like another 30 to 45 minutes, and that was my life until freshman year on top of my regular school.
Yeah. How did you get out of that? Like, why was it up until freshman year?
Um, Freshman year is when my dad left for Texas for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He got a trainer position out there, so uh, my mom wasn't able to take me all the time, and it started impacting my studies at with my regular school.
Mm-hmm.
So after freshman year, I didn't re-enroll. I would go back every now and then to visit and to go participate in services, but yeah, after freshman year, it was just so difficult to go, and we had to stop. It sucked, but I had to do what was best for the family.
Mm-hmm. Good to hear.
Hmm.
So you mentioned that you had a bar mitzvah. Can you
Yes.
explain what that is for everyone and talk about how the day went or
Oh
the event?
yeah, it's a process to get bar mitzvahed. Bar mitzvah, bat mitzvahed. If you're a guy, it's bar mitzvah, and basically that's your like rite of passage into adulthood, where you read from the Torah, depending on like when your birthday is, would determine when your bar mitzvah was, because you have to like have it like a month or so after your 13th birthday, and you have to read from that specific days, like that would be the passage of that day from the Torah. So you lead the service, lead the prayers, and then you walk around the school or the synagogue with the Torah in your hand. And oh my god, is that thing heavy? I was tiny, and I had to carry this giant dual scroll ancient thing and parade around the whole synagogue. And afterwards, you're supposed to have a party. And if you're like the other Jewish kids at my congregation who are rich, they got huge parties. I got a small deli celebration with with my family. Like none of my friends actually were able to come because we just couldn't afford it. So it's just a family thing.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Yeah. and it was a process, because going through the practicing and the training for it, because you have to like practice, rehearse your passage. You gotta learn how to do the specific dialect, like music, rhythmic, kind of like reading.
Mhm.
And I was really lazy, so I didn't do a lot of my reading practice, but it went out fine. I still did it perfectly. Don't know how. I barely studied.
Yeah. So this is the after your 13th birthday.
Yeah.
That's normally how it is for guys and girls.
For girls, it's their 12th birthday. For guys, 13, because girls mature faster than us, and so we're like, they deserve the rite of passage more first.
Understood. Okay. Any other things you want to talk about in regards to like your life in high school and before that? Do you feel like there's any memories or stories for us to get to know you better before we move on?
I think the main thing is that in high school is when I really knew I wanted to go into film and creative arts.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily, I was going to go into 3D graphic design and game design, but that's way too much coding. But yeah, all my like YouTube stuff started, I think, right before high school and on, because that's when I got the PS3. I had my iPhone, I propped it up and had it film the TV, so scuffed. And I would start making vlogs with my friends, and a lot of the little school video projects that we did, I would upload that as part of my YouTube channel. And that's like what got me to the grind of, this is what I want to do with my life. So if you want to know what to blame for everything, that it's high school.
Okay. So before we talk about YouTube, let's talk about the transition from high school to college, university.
Oh, that's a fun one.
What was the plan for that, and what did you end up doing?
So with that one, I knew I was gonna go into like, I wanted to go into game design at first, so I went and I checked on Palomar Community College, because I was like, there's no way in hell my GPA I can get any scholarships right now. So I, instead of going straight to a university, went to community college for a couple years, and then I was like, okay, graphics and animation kind of suck ass. It's too much work, and I definitely liked playing with cameras. So I went to film, which thankfully was able to easily transfer into San Marcos when I actually applied for San Marcos, SDSU, UCSD, UC Irvine, and UCLA. I got rejected from everything except for Cal State San Marcos. So it was like, okay, at least I know. SDSU never actually officially denied me though. They're like, okay, set up your account and we'll let you know when you're registered. And they just never, they ghosted me. I got ghosted by a full college.
Oh, jeez.
So I was like, oh, jeez. But yeah, ever since then, I've been a film major at San Marcos, and it's been amazing.
So you're still going through it right now?
Yeah, I have like, I think another year or so, because working part-time and then having to go up to San Marcos, I've only been able to do like 3 classes a semester, so trying to be just enough eligible for FAFSA for the units and then paying the rest out of pocket has been a struggle.
Got it.
Yeah.
Are you active or involved in like clubs and stuff?
I was going to join the debate team for San Marcos when I was at Palomar, but it was going to be too much time constraints. I was so dedicated to like trying to make YouTube videos and starting into Twitch streaming that I didn't really prioritize anything else. It was school, come home, hang out, talk to my roommates, and then stream. Just get on the creative grind. And then from there, I don't think. Yeah, I didn't really do anything. If we did a few videos with some friends, but it was like extra credit stuff for classes,
Hmm.
and I was also working too. So yeah, I had no time. Fucking rock and jump.
Gotcha. So how would you compare the two schools that you've been to, Palomar and San Marcos, right?
Yeah, it was a good transition. I think Palomar was the right step up from high school because it was very high school like structure feeling, but with that college difficulty.
Hmm.
It's a good wake up call, like, oh, you're not in high school anymore. But here's a nice ease of transition. We're not just gonna like throw you to the wall. And then San Marcos was a great transition. A lot of the people from Palomar I ended up running into at San Marcos, and the vibe and the people were, the rest of the students were very much similar to them, where it wasn't drama, and I only knew like a few people there from high school, so it was almost like a fresh start for me. And thankfully the people that I did run into were the people that did like me at high school, so that was like nice. It wasn't any troublesome people, so it was like, yes.
Nice. Okay.
Mhm.
So that is your college life. Let me see. Minor other topics that I picked up from based on what you said. Are you comfortable talking about your parents' divorce?
Yeah. It's kind of funny because they're divorced but still together. It's really weird. They sleep in the same house. They share the same room.
Yeah. So what was your mindset as a child going through that? Because you knew that they were arguing from time to time.
I was just waiting for the day, honestly. I felt like once they split up, it was going to be a lot less stressful for everyone.
Hmm.
I was kind of curious what it was going to be like with divorced parents, so I was like, okay, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's like, okay, we're just going to go with the same stuff. But after the divorce, they didn't really separate. They acted separate, but then they slowly grew back as like partners, nothing more. So it was like if it didn't happen, just there's no label anymore, no legal label on top of it.
Hmm. How old were you?
It was high school, so I think they got divorced 2017. So I don't know what it's like. No, it wasn't 2017. It was like 2015. Yeah, I was pretty young, so it was like another step up for having to grow up and mature.
Hmm.
Because my sisters are like, what do we do? What's going on? So I had to kind of comfort them and make sure they know like what's going on. They kind of expected it to happen, so the knowledge of them being divorced wasn't the shock. It was just like what's going to happen now.
Hmm.
So I had to reassure them on everything. So it was just like another step in the process, really.
Got it. Okay. Let's talk about your work experiences. Let's start from the very first one. Talk to us about how you got the job, what it was like, and then you could transition from there to all your jobs.
All right, cool. So the first job I had was with Rock and Jump. It was a trampoline park, and I started pretty much right after I got out of high school, and I was starting my first couple semesters in college.
Mhm.
And the way I got it was my friend David, who I knew since middle school. He started working there, and he says, "Oh, dude, they're hiring." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I got the interview. They weren't going to hire me at first, but David talked to what was my manager, Jake, and kind of like kept pestering him until he did hire me. So that was cool, and that's when I reconnected with Josh, who I knew in high school and everything, but didn't really talk to him until Rock and Jump. And Rock and Jump was an experience where you didn't work there for the experience of working, you worked there for the people. It was a very much a high school like environment, even if all of us were either in college or just getting out of high school. Like the same type of drama that would build up, the whole reality TV type of tension of, oh my god, you hear these two were dating, so and so type of drama. That was always building. And I was able to really become friends with a lot of the management really quickly. I got to experience life more because of them, because hang out with them, I started going out more to play video games. We'd go into the parking lot after work, just someone would have their Switch and we'll play Smash Bros for hours in the parking lot. That's where I started getting high, which was fun. The first time was at Universal Studios and Horror Nights for all times, and it was just a blast. And I made a lot of lifelong connections there due to it. So even though the final piece of drama that led to me quitting sucked and kind of severed some of those ties, the ones I still talk to and still consider friends, I could consider family at this point, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And from there, I went to Johnson and Murphy as seasonal, sold some shoes to some old people, then went to working at Skechers, and that was fun because my friend Lisa, who she was my supervisor, and I got her in trouble my first day because the way I communicated my schedule was not communicated apparently properly. So my main boss got pissed off and almost fired me on my first day because I screwed up the whole schedule on my availability. But now Lisa's like one of my big sisters from work at this point. She just started streaming too, so she's like always texting me like, "Hey, how do I do this? How do I do this?" I'm like, "I got you. Say less, buddy." And after like a year and a half of Skechers, I got to being a floor lead, which was kind of like an assistant manager. So I closed the shop, opened the place, and when we were moving back to Mira Mesa because we just couldn't afford La Jolla anymore, I took like a whole year or so off from working, primarily because then COVID hit again, and then I finally got a job at Best Buy, and now I'm just like, I'm vibing. It's such a good time selling and learning stuff about other technology.
Yeah, so that's where you're at now?
Yeah, I am a sales advisor now at Best Buy, and I'm like, this is awesome, but also, selling is hard. gotta tell people I know what I'm talking about, even when you don't.
So a lot of customer service, like front-facing jobs. Any interesting encounters or stories to talk about?
Yeah, at Rock and Jump there's a bunch, because there's this one snot-nosed kid who dressed up like your typical would definitely grow up to be a frat fuckboy in college. Thought he ran the place, and it was like my second day there, and he's just like, I can do what I want. I'm like, dude, you guys follow the rules. He's like, I know the owner. I'm like, I don't care. You gotta follow the rules. Bad experience right there. Was like yelling at the kid for like 5 times in a row. But then, like the week afterwards, I was able to work a sorority party buyout at my work, so that was really fun. We got to dance with them to Jonas Brothers and High School Musical, so that was a vibe. Lots and lots of Karens, some that just would not make any sense at all. Party hosting there, got to deal with the stress of dealing with parents and their wacky, wild, unreasonable requests. You definitely got to hate a lot of people, but you had to always have a smile. You're like, it's okay. These people are just entitled. You know what? I don't have to give them the best service, so how they treated me, I gave back eventually. Skechers, there was this one dude. We called him Flava Flav, after like that one the rapper, and
Yeah.
because he looked exactly like him, like dressed up the same way, and he was known around the mall for like stealing.
Oh.
But he would come around our store and he would just show us like what he got. We're like, what do you have this time? He's like, it's hip hop, you know what it is. And he's just like showing us like all these different shirts. Like, bro, you're gonna get caught. He's like, how do you think I pay for all this? Like, you still take the bus, dude. What are you talking about? This hustle. And now working at Best Buy, I think the latest story was after I saw Spider-Man No Way Home.
Mhm.
Walking back, I saw this one like homeless crackhead guy, and the day after he comes into our store causing problems. It's the same guy. I'm like, what is the chances of this, dude? The same guy coming into the store right now.
Mhm.
He had a golf club and everything. We were like scared that he was going to start swinging at our supervisor. Like everyone was starting to huddle around. Oh man, crazy.
Quite the story, work experience life.
Oh yeah, customer service. Gotta love the retail.
Mhm.
People are just a joy to work with.
At least you're comfortable where you're at now, right?
Yeah, definitely. Just get to sell PC parts, TVs, and yeah, other electronics. I'm learning a lot of things about like TVs that I didn't think were possible. It's insane.
Got it. So, last thing for work, is there
Mhm.
anything you want people to know about the customer service industry?
Please say thank you. They're just doing their jobs. They don't make the policies. They just enforce it because they have to. If we say we don't have anything, that means we don't. Like, please don't ask for any other like any workarounds. We're not gonna be able to give it to you, especially if they're entry level. You know,
Mhm.
that's really it. Also, if you learn our names, we love that. If you call us by our names at the end of the day, it is one of the nicest things you can do, just because we feel like we're actual people at that point. So, definitely, yeah.
All
Also,
right.
tip. Always tip. If you can, tip at least 10%. It's the most we ask for.
Advice right there
Yes.
from Red.
You get best service. Trust me.
All right, how are you feeling so far?
Definitely nervous and hope I don't ramble too much.
Nah, dude, you're good. You're doing fine. Do you
Cool.
need a break or anything? Are you good?
No, I'm chilling. We're
Okay,
just
okay.
vibing.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna grab something really quick.
All
And then
right, for sure.
we're gonna talk about your party phase, more social stuff. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Let me grab this.
Heck yeah. Toby, I see you in chat, buddy. Wait, Simon, are you Jewish? Is that why you're able? And Andy, yeah, no, I was hated. Also, Michelle, of course I beat you, friend. You know. Don't worry, guys. I'll respond to you guys now. Until like I have like chat over here. I have Wilson's chat up here, so like I'm also reading at the same time. Yes, I'm Jewish from both sides. Oh hell yeah, yeah. My mom converted. She did the converting process, so that way I could be raised Jewish in our synagogue, and then if I only kept up with it, I could converse. I can definitely like, if you showed me anything in Hebrew, I could read it and pronounce it. I just probably would not know what I'm saying anymore unless I had the vowels. But yeah, so life is life, dudes. It's crazy out there. Oh man, how are you guys doing? How's your guys' day, chat? I am here. was Oh, yours was numbers? Oh, mine was in September. I think mine was numbers as well. I just don't remember what part. Oh my god, that's so cool. Man, I wish I remembered my part. What's up? Me and Simon were bonding over being Jewish.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
Nope.
Yeah, you know, I was talking to you about that pizza. It arrived, so I'm gonna be eating at the same time.
Ooh.
But with a fork, hopefully that doesn't bother people.
I am always eating on stream.
Okay, let's talk about the party phase or your
Mhm.
lifestyle. Are you into partying, clubbing, or raves?
So my extent of a party, well, it goes as far as all of us coming over to someone's house, ordering food, and then playing Smash Bros. Literally, that's
Okay.
like the main thing. I didn't start getting into like a lot of partying stuff until Rock and Jump.
Uh-huh.
I don't drink, so I never partook in that. I just like we would just get high and just vibe.
hmm
We'll go to a restaurant, get super high, and just vibe, just hang out for hours, either at the restaurant or outside. We didn't really do parties except for like birthday parties where it was like, let's go to a buffet and then go to the beach for a bonfire, and that was it. The
Sounds
closest to
nice.
a rave was Anime Expo, and that's like the after convention hours clubbing that they would have going on on site. But other than that, I was so introverted and like I didn't have much of a social group. So yeah, it was like D&D, Nintendo Switch, Smash Bros tournaments, and then just going to eat a lot of food.
Got it, understood. And that's okay. Honestly,
Mhm.
that's how you lived your life.
It was fun. Definitely would never change it.
hmm So you said you don't drink, but does that mean that you've never drinking before?
No. So because I have a really sensitive taste palate and nose that a lot of things that a lot of people will like, how come you don't eat it? I can't eat, like it physically hurts me.
hmm
So anything like fruit related, a lot of stuff that are sodas, alcohol, that
Yeah.
stuff I like. I was walking to work today, I could smell the freshly made fries and the seasoning from Jack in the Box when I was almost a block away. And that was only with a little bit of like help from the wind, just for me to like notice, oh, okay, I smell they're making fries.
hmm
So like fruity things I never ate, so that would like impact the things I would drink. So I mainly drink water. If I did drink alcohol, the only times I drank was Fireball on my 21st birthday, and they made sure I got messed up.
Uh,
I was like 14 shots, crossed, faded everything. So I had that, and then I drank on another time. We were just pouring some shots, Fireball and everything like that. So I can only drink Fireball, vodka, and then as of the latest time, I tried this bottle of Screwball, and that was the last thing I tried. And I don't really drink often. I think I've only actually drank alcohol like 5 times in my life.
hmm
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite and least favorite of the five?
My favorite time was definitely my birthday. I was so like set up in the vibe of everything. I was so happy that all my friends at the time were there.
hmm
Like that definitely made it really easy. Plus, with all the other things that we were doing and hanging out with, it was very easy. I didn't feel drunk. They took care of me. Like I had enough water in between shots, and I ate. So it was like the safest and the most responsible time. And then my least favorite time was probably the one time that I tried vodka. I was like, yeah, nah, that's not for me. It sucked. It tasted like hand sanitizer. I only took like 2 shots. I was like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm done. Just give me the chicken nuggets. I'll just be eating.
So wait, are you saying that your favorite time was on your 21st when you had Fireball?
Yes,
So that would have to be your favorite.
yes.
Okay. 14 shots. Your first time drinking.
Yep, 14 shots, 2 bong rips, and a hit from a pen.
And
That was my night.
You blacked out.
No, actually, I remember everything pretty clearly. I remember running around the sand, almost wanting to jump into the water over a dare, and then just sitting by the campfire. I remember that day. Actually, that's the funny thing. Like, I remember it so vividly clear compared to what people would say off of getting that much intoxicated.
So what type of drunk would you classify yourself as?
Definitely the joyful, and still kind of like aware as much as I try to be, but also very relaxed. I'm relaxed, joyful, not necessarily sensitive, but ready to always put a smile on my face.
Okay, so other than partying specifically, talking about other type of events, do you have like a favorite event you've ever been to?
Oh yeah, definitely is between Comic-Con and Anime Expo. Like, depending on the year, those two events I consider like a second home for myself, because like all the nerd culture and seeing everyone in cosplay, and you can say like any type of pop culture reference and joke, and they're like, I see what you did there, like, ah. It's just so much camaraderie from a bunch of strangers when they're like, oh my god, I love your cosplay, or can I take a picture of you? And just talking with any of the fans. I think particularly, I forgot what year it was, but when I went to Comic-Con, I was going there with my dad because he was covering for press when he did his own press thing. And I met Stan Lee that year for the first time. And he was about to stop signing autographs and taking pictures because he had to go to lunch. And we were waiting in line for so long. And we just got up there, and the bodyguard, it was like, sorry guys, you guys gotta come back tomorrow, blah blah blah. And I was like so like destroyed, and Stanley looked at me, saw my Amazing Spider-Man issue #1, like the original stuff, and he points to me and he's like, you come here. He like waved me down with my dad. He's like, let's take a picture. I have time for you. I was the last one in line, and he chose me. I was like, no way. So when people say don't meet your heroes, that is purely circumstantial. Stanley was like one of the nicest people ever, and I saw him 2 more times afterwards at Comic-Con, other years, and until his last appearance at Comic-Con, literally one of the nicest, most down-to-earth guys. I kind of resented him for selling out to Disney at first, but with the legacy he left and the effect he had on me as a kid growing up, I was like, it's okay. You did what you did, and I just still love the memories I had with all your characters.
Wow, what a story. Stan Lee, legend.
Yep. Such a nice guy. He's also Jewish, which was really funny. So a lot of his characters were also Jewish coded.
Okay.
I didn't know that until like I did a biography project on him in middle school. I got a B on it because I focused too much on his comic characters instead of him as a person. Yeah, I was too hyped up for the nerd part of it.
Alright, let's transition and talk about your interests. Are you, like, of the following, what are you big on? Movies, shows, anime, dramas?
Ooh. If I had to organize it, movies, then anime, then shows, and then dramas, but very close. For dramas is like primarily rom-com movies and then Lifetime movies, because that's what I would watch a lot with my mom, and then a little bit of Filipino dramas every now and then. Those were like, other than that, I don't like watch any dramas on TV anymore.
Let's do a top 5
close
for each category of all time.
Okay, for movies, I think my favorite movie currently is Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay.
Then would be Empire Strikes Back, Batman: The Dark Knight. Um, hmm. Damn, this is hard because I watched some Inception. I loved Inception. And then probably oh shit. Probably Iron Man #1. Yeah, Iron Man 1 would be my last on my top 5 on movies. For anime, Reincarnated Slime is the #1 right there. And then Dragon Ball is my very close second. Third would be probably Naruto. Fourth, Reborn. And then lastly, I would probably say I think between Rising of the Shield Hero and Demon Slayer are my like tied for 5th place.
Okay.
Yeah. And for shows, I watch a lot of cartoons and sitcoms. So South Park #1. I love That 70s Show. That's my #2, almost tied for first. Drake and Josh, Ben 10, the original, and then everything that's DC animated, right under those. And then for dramas, I don't remember the names for the ones in the Philippines, or the Filipino dramas. So there's The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock is one of my favorite rom-coms. For that, I consider it also part drama. There's like 2 Lifetime movies I really enjoyed, and then the other 2 were I don't even remember the names. Probably almost any other like rom-com drama starring Matthew McConaughey, Ashton Kutcher, or Ryan Reynolds. Those are like tied up there.
The fact that you're listing all these on the spot is
I'm surprised I could even think of these. Yeah, those. Yeah,
no worries.
Even think of that. That's wild.
How about current favorite song and artist?
Ooh.
You had to list one.
Okay, I've been listening to a lot of Ice Nine Kills recently. Their latest album, The Silver Scream 2, Welcome to Horrorwood. One of the best metalcore albums I've ever listened to. And each one is a love letter to like another horror movie franchise. And from that one album, I think oh my god, what's the song? It's based off of the Resident Evil games. Rainy Day. So good. It's like the perfect balance of melodic metalcore, and then the growls are just like, oh, it's a power trip. It's so good.
You said Rainy Day?
Yeah, it is one hell of a music video too. It has like its own, the whole album has its own lore as well. It's so crazy. It's a huge narrative between the 3 latest albums they had.
All right. And you also mentioned that you like to draw, right?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite drawing of yours? One that means the most to you, at least.
I think so. And it was when I was really young. I don't know if I have it on my Instagram. Let me check real quick. Because if I remember, it's on my art account, my Twitch account. Let me see. It would probably be. Oh my god, where is it?
You talking about the same one? Like when you were a kid?
Yeah, it was one of the ones I drew when I was growing up, and it was like high school, and I just like reposted all of them on my Instagram when I first started it. I was just like posting like old drawings I had. Um, let's see, where are you? Okay, it was this one right here, because I was such a big Dragon Ball fan.
Mm-hmm.
I had my own like fantasy world where I had the abilities of a Saiyan. It's like a full lore, and I've been curating it since I was in 5th grade. Even till now, I still like go back and like, okay, what was the things I used to think about? And I still continue building the world, but I drew my OC. I drew myself as a Saiyan, and it was like reflecting back on how many years I put into this character, this version of me that I always wanted to be like, and then more like the development of my art skills in such a short period of time. It was just, I loved it primarily because that sense of nostalgia and that realization, not necessarily the amount of skill it looks like I put out there.
Got it.
So
All right. Would you say you have any other interests that you haven't mentioned yet?
besides gaming and reading comics, I think the only ones that I don't really say a lot is doing voices and also uh singing, but I don't really sing much besides like every now and then. But I used to do a lot of voice impressions when I was little. I would do like Quagmire from Family Guy, Peter Griffin, Stewie, do the guys from South Park. I would do like, if anyone knows the Dragon Ball Z Abridged group, Team 4-Star, I would do the voices from there. I used to do a Shrek and other stuff like even Austin Powers growing up, because that was like the humor that I was into. So I would have that as like part of my voices, and that's why when people say I can sing, it's more like I'm able to kind of mimic how the people are they sound, and I just go off of that. I don't know anything about like key change or anything like that.
So, you know what I'm gonna ask next?
You're gonna ask me to sing?
Oh, not sing, but
Oh, okay. Thank God.
nah. You wanna hit us with some voice impressions on the spot?
Oh shit. Okay.
Whatever you want.
Okay. Oh shit. I think I can still do Goku's voice. I don't know how well it's gonna sound in the mic though.
It's okay.
I haven't done this in so long, but
So, when he's in the Dragon Ball Bridge series, it's really high pitched and, kind of like up here.
and then some of the other characters from the series will be like a little bit more gravelly, more angry sounding in the back of the throat. And then one voice that I do a lot that I don't mean to, but it goes like the whole like like just random rambling, and it will just sound like I'm saying stuff, but it's based off like a character as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what other voices I can do off the spot.
That's
I would have to
okay,
like
that was
go
pretty cool
back.
Sound you just made, I felt like I was listening to South Park characters or something.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm not fam this big bone. Screw you guys. I'm going home. Mom!
that was like
Damn.
the best I could do for Carmen on the spot, because Carmen's voice hurts, and all the other voices I can do require me to be loud and like really grab from the back of the throat for the gravelness,
Yeah.
and that's hard to do without screaming my lungs out at the moment.
All right, I'm impressed. Let's go. Okay, so before we move on to the next topic, what has your living situation been like? I know, so starting with family and a lot of moving around. Yeah, give us a good overview.
So when I was younger, until like, I think that was about 4 years ago now, I always lived with my parents. Same house, same spot, same block for 20 something years. And then I finally moved out to La Jolla with two of my friends, my current roommate here and our other friend from even elementary, or not elementary, like parts of middle school. And we were in La Jolla for a year. Then we spent another year in La Jolla with two of our other friends, my friend Alex and his girlfriend. And so we were in a year there. It was like 10 months. And once that lease was up, we moved back to Mira Mesa, where we are now. And it's four of us. It's myself, my roommate Jason, and then Alex and his girlfriend Will in the other room. And it's just been the four of us. And when that lease is up, I'm going to be moving out with Josh, Yuki, and our friend Job. Still in the same area though, thankfully.
Wow, so you have a roommate and you could stream like this much and it works.
Yeah, he's really nice about it because he knows that I don't really do much else, and they kind of all like socialize a lot in the tea room, so I'm always like not doing much anyways, and it's like my own kind of like interest and ventilation process, so I can unwind and just kind of be who I want to be. So he lets me, as long as I don't go past like 2 a.m. He's like, just because you tend to scream a lot when you're streaming, because you gotta have that energy, as long as you don't go past that, unless it's like a 24-hour. And I was like, okay, yeah, for sure. And I'll like tell him like, hey, if Casey's doing something, like, hey, I'm gonna be streaming, is that cool with you? He's like, yeah, no worries. And usually, because he's just quiet, he's usually watching YouTube or eating, and then every now and then people will be able to hear him in the background because he'll be playing games with my roommates while he's on his computer here. So as long as I like don't be like an asshole and hog the whole room, then there's like been no problems for like 2 years already of sharing a room.
Dang, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get into touchy subjects, do you need to take a break, bathroom break or anything?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's get into the real deep stuff.
So the next topic has to do with relationships and if there's ever been any heartbreaks for you. Let's talk about the first one and go on from there. Like, it could be whatever you want to talk about. A crush, liking someone, I don't know. Anything.
So, growing up, I knew about like Family Guy and stuff like that. So I already knew like I knew what a crush was and everything like that. So like even since kindergarten, I always like was a low key guy, a simple guy that just, I always had a crush in mind.
Okay. That's cool.
I would never pursue, and because like the few times I did, one girl was like, I like your friend instead. The other girl, it was at recess, and I remember this because we were at the lunch tables, and I told my friend, he's like, hey, do you like anyone? Like, I was like, yeah, because I thought I trusted him. And he literally stands up and yells across the lunch course, like, hey, Ann, Jeremy likes you. And she looks at me dead in the eye and points and just like the whole finger across the neck and like shakes her fist like, you suck. And then after that, I liked this one girl that I was friends with since kindergarten. I liked her from 5th grade all the way up to like 8th grade.
Wow.
And I kind of ended a friendship over that because he tried blackmailing me. trying to get like a one up on me to look better for the girl. And that kind of was like, ooh, that's pretty bad. After that, I got into my first long distance relationship in high school. Lasted maybe a month, and the distance just wasn't working. I got dumped, but we're still friends. Second relationship was I got catfished long distance.
Wait, how did this distance thing work? Let's backtrack to the first one.
So on Skype, this was when we were all using Skype, and we were playing Minecraft, and my friend invited me to his server that his girlfriend was part of, and then I met a few people from that server, and one of them was a girl that I ended up liking, and we would just like on Skype every day. We use Kick, Messenger every day, talking, and we had a long distance relationship for like a month. And she's like, you know what? This is not really working out for me. I was like, oh, okay. So after that, one of the other girls from that server also liked me. I got catfished though, so I was not appreciative of that.
Wait, what was the what grade were you in?
We
First
were
and second?
we were all like freshman year college or sophomore year college when I was part of the server.
Okay.
So, or not college, high school. Sorry, high school.
Got
it. So many things happen in that server. Lots of high school like drama. All the girls would just talk to me for like a couple weeks. Almost seemed like it could have been a long distance relationship. End up not. So I got played a lot. And then in high school, like the last year.
Catfish one.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean by that?
So when I was first in the server, I didn't know everyone was supposedly be the same age. Like we're all like freshman and sophomore, which was true.
Okay.
But this girl like lied about what she looked like and her name, everything. Like everyone else was like really open. But yeah, and then she would like emotionally manipulate me, saying like, "Oh my god, I'm so depressed and blah blah blah." Like you're the and would just kind of throw me through like loops, and I didn't know what to do because like that's like the second relationship, and the first one didn't even last enough for me to learn anything, especially being a long distance. And then her friend messaged me after they had a fight, and was like, she said she was your age, but she's actually like 2 years younger than you, and she's actually like looks like this. I was like, what the hell? This is way too much for me to handle. I was like, I was just into sophomore year. I was like, huh? But I thought I could trust them. So that happened then, and then in high school, my first in-person girlfriend, was this girl that was like a year younger than me. And she hung out with our friend group. One day we were all hanging out as friends. We were all at Petco, and she took my hoodie. I didn't know what that meant at the time when a girl takes your hoodie. So we end up dating. I didn't even want to date her at the time, but I got peer pressured into asking her out. So she came over to my house, and I was just supposed to like hang out with her. None of our other friends really showed up, and yeah, we kind of just became a thing for a little bit. But every other day she would break up with me and then get back together with me.
Oh no.
And she would like get into these really depressive like rants and everything like that, and I'll be like, what can I do to help? Or like I'll do what I can to comfort her, but she'll like, no, you can't do anything, blah blah. And she'll just talk down like, this sucks. I was an emotional mess for like 3 weeks because it was just nonstop, like on and off, till I finally broke it off. And then she ended up dating my best friend like right after me. Like not even a day afterwards, I saw her trying to cuddle up my best friend at lunch. And I was like, bro, what?
Wait, and your best friend like was aware of this and went for
Mhm.
it?
Yes, because not everyone understands. Like, I live by the bro code.
Yeah.
I know it's a stupid thing, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, what? That doesn't exist." But like, it honestly saved me a lot of friends, and I do live by a lot of like the basic morals. Like, don't date your friend's ex. Like, that's messed up. So there was like a little bit of drama between me and him, but once they broke up, because he like everyone realized she was a manipulative person and like she was horrible. Me and him became friends again, and we still live together. So if that doesn't show how much of like
What?
of maturity, yeah, no, literally the Alex, the guy
Hmm.
in the other room, that's my friend. And now we both are like every time someone like somehow brings her up as a memory, we're just like, ugh, like cringe, disgust. And then after that, I was single for about 2-ish years until Rock and Jump. When I started dating this one girl that I was friends with. Uh, and it was going on. It was going good for a while. I never went on like an actual date with her. We kind of just did like unofficial double dates. And she broke up with me, saying that it just feels like we're too much like just regular friends. I'm like, okay, sure. I
How
made
long was
one joke
that?
about it wasn't even like I don't think this thing was like 3 months because it was right as Deadpool 2 released. Deadpool 2 released, and we dated for like a few months afterwards. And right as like summer was about to hit, she dumped me, saying that we were too much like friends. I was kind of heartbroken, but I was like, okay, sure, no worries.
Yeah.
So we stayed as friends, and I made one joke about being friends with benefits. She was like, okay, let's do it. I'm like, huh? And I'm the type of person like, apparently it's called being demisexual. I didn't know about this until pretty like a couple years back. But I can't have a sexual relation unless I have that emotional one. So I have to be like, I really am like, I gotta have that friendship and that strong bond before I can even consider like me dating you. So I had to have that strong urge already. And the night before my birthday party, she calls me up, and I was like, because she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hang out with my ex's best friend that day. I was like, okay, cool. I hope you have fun. Like, and she's like, oh yeah, I don't know, like this guy's kind of creepy. I'm like, okay, well just keep me updated. Like, let me know if you're okay and everything like that. So I'm like texting her like all day, like, dude, are you okay? Like, you just like stop answering me for a little bit. And she's like, yeah. She calls me while I was at the theater, so with my parents and my two friends, Jason and Nee. And she's like, hey, we need to talk. I'm like, what? She's like, I'm kind of already I'm now with this guy. I'm like, I hate this because I knew it was gonna happen. I have this thing where it's like, I'll have a very vivid dream about something that's gonna happen in the future, and I'll have deja vu, and it would like not even like a week or so afterwards, like in a span of like maybe a week or so, something really bad's gonna happen to me, or something very impactful happens. So I knew this was coming. I knew exactly who he was, what he looked like before I saw a picture of the guy. I was
Wow.
like, there's no fucking way that I predicted this. So I was devastated. And people asked me around work, like, what happened between you guys? You guys were so close, and I told them the whole story. No bias. I don't bullshit anything. I say the full 100% details. As detailed as people want, I will tell them, even if it makes me look bad. And when I tell them, they're like, they instantly could, like, everyone starts demonizing her. I even said, like, the bad stuff that, like, I wasn't apparently there as much for her, or I didn't know how to react. And I, like, definitely try to like shove her out of my life. And I was like, I went to people for kind of like validation, like, is this what you're supposed to do during a bad time? Because like we weren't even together, but I was about to ask her if she wanted to try getting together again, like trying to be in a relationship. And then that happened. I was like, ooh, so that's an automatic no. I don't even need to ask that question anymore.
Wow.
And ever since then, I think that was my 20th birthday too.
You dropped her like after that moment.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want this like toxicity.
Mhm.
I was like so angry at her. I was heartbroken. It was my first like real heartbreak. Um, I was dumped and then used. It felt as a rebound because I didn't realize I was like kind of a rebound because she broke up with her boyfriend before me and then dated me like 2 weeks afterwards. Like it wasn't even that much time in between. Uh, and yeah, I was like, what the hell? How did this happen to me? Everyone was just like kind of giving her the cold eye, shit like that at work until we all like just end up quitting after COVID hit. Everything closed, so we're like, no one. A lot of people didn't come back to Rock and Jump, and then the reason why I didn't go back to Rock and Jump 2 is another girl that I started liking there. I wasn't gonna go for her. Like I didn't want to pursue. I was like, I don't want to risk this friendship. But I had a bad dream. One of the deja vu things happened, and so I was like, okay, I need to tell someone so that way they can help me through this. So I told one person, and then as things happen, everyone finds out about it. So at that point, she starts giving me the cold shoulder. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I thought we were still friends. I thought we were so close. Like I could just go up and hug her because that's what we were all able to do. And yeah, at that point, I was like really depressed. Like why is everyone hating me, or why is she giving me cold shoulder? Went to one of my friends. He snapped at me for being such a wimp, for blah blah blah, being annoying, being too down bad, quote unquote, for a girl that I'm not even trying to pursue. I'm like, I wasn't even pursuing. You guys are the one pressuring me. And I kind of got ostracized from that group. So at that point, I was like, okay, there's nothing left for me at Rock and Jump. All the people I like and I still talk to already left, so I can just leave this and never have to worry about these people again. So, and ever since then, I have been single. And every now and then might have a little crush here and there, but nothing really crazy to where I'm like, okay, I definitely want to try and pursue this. At least not yet. Not that I know of. There might be a few people that I'm like actually kind of considering. But yeah, so single Pringle life. Let's go. Relationships are expensive anyways, who needs that? You gotta save money for yourself, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the main thing.
Okay, so takeaways.
Mhm.
What was the biggest takeaway from going through like these relationships and heartbreaks? What did you learn from this?
Definitely learn. Be careful who you tell, and also look out for the red flags, because a lot of the red flags were very prominent, and I definitely did not listen to them. And also, you can tell who hasn't matured as well. I got a lot of stuff to learn myself about what I like. But yeah, definitely a lot of trust issues grew from there, so I had to really learn that part.
Yeah. What's the biggest red flag you could think of, like on the spot?
When she's not a nerd. Yep, she doesn't game or read comics or no movie superhero stuff. Kind of red flag there. Yeah, like almost all my exes or love interests that weren't into like similar things enough, and then they were too much into partying. been too much into alcohol. Like, they weren't drinkers, but they definitely would prefer, like, they would, like, nonstop. My first girlfriend would talk about alcohol a lot, and then, yeah, you could, like, tell there, like, there's some red flags on trust issues.
Understood.
Mhm.
Okay, so aside from specifics of relationships, what would you say your type is?
Definitely, they need to be a nerd, like somehow, either gaming, movies, or I can talk about comics, because that's a lot of stuff that I am into, my hobbies, and with a lot of people that I know that I can connect with on all those things have never treated me wrong, and that way they can meld with whoever I'm pursuing and vice versa, because I don't want them to be kind of like ostracized for and not feel like part of the group. Yeah, someone who's nerdy is like the main, like the first criteria. Yeah. that's the also strong personality. I like a girl that can that would go back and forth and banter with me. I like a good friendly, like, argument, just like for no reason. It's like a bullshit argument, like, you like PB&J, I like turkey and ham, and we just go back and forth just because it's stupid and fun. Like, I love that stuff. I love a girl who can handle herself, a girl who would take charge, because I am bad at making decisions. Like, if you guys ask me where you guys want to go eat, I'm like, I don't know, it could be any place, really. I just like rice. Would be my main answer. So if she's down for that, that is another bonus for me. Looks circumstantial, because looks capture your attention, but personality keeps your heart. So that's one thing I also learned, because personality can sometimes doesn't match the look, and that can be a pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, did you go to your prom or homecoming?
Yeah, actually I did. I went to my senior homecoming because it was superhero themed, and that was a lot of fun. I went alone, but I saw some of my friends there from my other classes, so I had people to talk to. And there's a game truck too, so I was like, oh hell yeah, I can play like Mario Kart or play Street Fighter there. And then prom, I didn't have a date, so me and my friend Jason, we went and met up with a bunch of our friends. And the funny thing is that about prom night is I danced with my ex before I knew who she was. So I danced with a girl that was her boyfriend didn't make it to the prom at the time. And I didn't realize that was gonna be the same girl I was gonna end up dating from Rock and Jump. I was like, what the fuck?
That is crazy how it all comes around.
Yep, comes around, goes around. But yeah, prom was a lot of fun. Limited sushi too. I was like, hell yes, love that.
Okay, so next topic. How would you say your mental health is now?
Definitely a lot better, a lot more stable. I don't know if like the mic picks up, but I have like these nervous tics, and it doesn't even matter if like I'm nervous or not, but I have these tics that go off. Like sometimes it'll be like second gasp for air, or like a kind of like a push of sound through my throat here. I go through like a bunch of tics. One time it was like my head bobbing back and forth, eyes blinking, a bunch of other things. But growing up, I had anger issues, and I was bipolar, like, or like predisposed for both of them, and I had bad depression growing up. but a lot of people wouldn't notice most of the time. Like 90% of the time, I rarely let any of that show because I was like, I had to stay strong for like my family, stuff like that, and I didn't know much about it. So in high school, going through psychology class, AP Psych, that helped me understand a lot. So I was like, be able to get more aware of why I am the way I am. Understand my dad's bipolar and depression. So that kind of gave me a good centering and a good grounding for myself. And with having the outlet for streaming, definitely has boosted that because I had horrible self-confidence growing up. Like I said, like probably in the beginning where I was the fat and short kid. I've always had that image about myself, even till now. I have more of a dad bod now, which is nice, but it still feels like I'm the short fat kid from all the way back. And I've been able to gain more confidence because like the whole vibe, like especially with like your group, once I got into the group here, like it changed a lot with all the people I've been meeting even beforehand with like CAD, Creo RGB, and all those other people. It definitely helped boost my confidence, like meeting my friend Lily and going through her community. It's definitely helped me kind of strengthen who I am as a person, more confident. I can control my tics more, which is nice. I can, if I'm having a bad day, I can just open up stream, talk to, even if it's like no viewers there, and I can feel good about myself again. So it definitely helps like taking care of like my anger issues, my self-confidence issues. Lots of pro tag character development going on throughout my life. It didn't help when my ex, when her sister found out about me and is like, wow, he's ugly, and she didn't even back me up. She's like, yeah, he may not look the nicest, but you know, he has a great personality. I'm like, bro, she told me that after the next day. I was like, oh, you couldn't even say like I had a cute nose or something like that. You couldn't make anything up. You just straight up like agreed with her calling me ugly. Like, what the fuck? So when it comes to the mental health of my inner self, definitely has been stronger. My confidence around romantic pursuing, oh my god, throw all that development out the window. The confidence drops. But usually I can just laugh it off and make a joke out of anything. So when I laugh, it's either to cover up for something or because I just accepted it. I can make a joke out of it now. It doesn't bother me as much.
Understood. So you keep saying short. What do you consider as short?
So I am stuck at being 5'4", technically 5'3.9 at the end of the day, once gravity has its toll on me. I was always the shortest of my friend group. Either someone was like barely an inch taller than me, or everyone towered over me. So with everyone being taller than me, and my mom is 5 foot, by the way, my dad used to be at 6 foot, and now he's like 5'11". I was hoping to grow at least up to 5'6". That never happened. So I kind of had to get over that whole fact of being short was a bad thing. Now I'm like okay with it. Like, I'm short, I'm stocky. I come to terms with my build as a person, my physical look. But always being the shortest of the class ever since like preschool, the nicknames were like Germ, Wormy, Shorty. Actually, the funny thing is my best friend since kindergarten, when he moved here, he didn't have any social skills, and he was only like not even this much taller than me, and he points at me, he's like, Shorty, and I start crying. I run and told like the the person that was like watching over us during recess, and now we're like we're friends ever since kindergarten, just because he didn't have any social skills to actually ask for my name at the time. So yeah, everything like that. Like my sister, my youngest sister, she's taller than me. I am the second tallest out of the three of us, and my other sister is just like a few inches shorter than me. So I'm like, bro, what the hell? I thought I was gonna get the tall jeans dad. I went to the youngest. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in regards to mental health, what advice would you give to other people who maybe is going through something of their own?
Definitely try to make a joke out of everything. Find something that would make you laugh, and also have like a word or a phrase to repeat in your head or to chant to kind of like center yourself when you're having kind of a low breakdown. I have those very often when I start to feel like like I'm getting angry or like I'm feeling bad. I always have like a word. Mine is actually Kamehameha, because like I love Dragon Ball for so long. That was like my favorite move, and because it's like used by all the good guys, even though now my favorite character is Vegeta. It was always like a source of power and self-centering for myself. So find a word, find something that you can say, try to make a joke out of everything, because the more you can make yourself laugh, the better it is. But don't make it self-deprecating. I was doing self-deprecating humor up until 2 years ago, and once I stopped making a joke of myself instead and started making the joke of the situations, I felt so much better about myself. So definitely do that.
All right on. All right, switching gears. How has COVID affected you personally?
The funny thing is, actually affected me in a better way, which is kind of funny to think about for COVID. But the amount of experience I had off from work and other things, I could focus on content creating, with streaming, focusing on myself, and then between jobs, racking in that unemployment money was really nice. It was a nice comfort system. I got to spend more time with my online community, which is great. And I don't think I would be where I am if it wasn't for COVID. I think if COVID was still around, I'd be still stuck at Rock and Jump, wasting my life away. I just need that extra push. So even though it definitely sucks ass for what we have to deal with, the events definitely led to some positive effects for myself. More than anything negative, which is thankfully.
Good to hear. Okay, as of now, what are your current goals and aspirations in life?
I'm gonna work at Best Buy probably until college is over. And hopefully by that time either I go viral and get to be like half of what Ludwig is. By 3 years from now, that's what I'm hoping. Already joined the stream team, so that's always great. So I got that already checked off a lot sooner than I expected. And yeah, just kind of continue with the content creating. Hopefully that after college I can go into either Sony Online Entertainment with their movies and video games, or hit big in Hollywood. I probably won't go outside of SoCal. I'll probably stay local as much as possible, but until then, grind out the studies till I graduate, grind out Twitch, and enjoy life.
Nice, sounds like a plan.
Yep.
All right, talk about specifically some of the travels and adventures you've been on, because you mentioned you went to the Vegas, the Philippines, and the East Coast with friends.
Yeah, so the Philippines was my first trip outside of the United States. And oh my god, I was like 3 or 4, so I barely started remembering things. All I remember is like getting off the plane, super humid, rush to the ER. Like as a baby, sent to the ER right off the plane because I started like vomiting from the humidity from the sickness. And after that, it was like I remember the zoo and the merry-go-round with like the tigers because I was the year of the tiger, so it was like everything tiger was really cool for me. The nuns were scary. They're like really like for the way I picture them now, it's like dried up, shriveled old ladies, like very scary looking. And that's all I remember from that trip. Outside the pictures of like the arcade. My second trips was like at Vegas when I was younger. We'd have like a whole family thing. So like my family, my cousins and stuff like that would all go to Vegas for like a few days or like a day or so. Travel, like walk around the strip, come back. I don't remember too much because it wasn't like too big. I just remember going under the thing and under one thing and I saw like tigers like swimming and like near one like the whole like Vegas act things. And then lastly was like the most recent thing. Yeah, like I said, a couple years back. Myself, my roommate Jason, our friends Nee and Brandon, we all four of us went to DC and we stayed there for like a week. We went to DC. It was like the coolest thing ever. All around the city, eating at different places. I got some cool clothes from there, from Uniqlo. Gotta love their material. And I tried Squid Ink Pasta for the first time. That stuff is so good. Oh my gosh. We went to a steakhouse where they had the whole, you have to eat plan, entree, course meal. You have an appetizer, an entree, a salad, a dessert. It was insane. We went to the Smithsonian, went to all the museums, the national landmarks around, and we had layovers in like 2 states, one going over and one coming back. I don't remember too much about it except hanging out in the airport, but hanging out in the hotel was fun. We were really into Mamma Mia at the time, so a lot of ABBA and Mamma Mia was playing, and they're like, we made me a Tinder at that time too, so they're like, come on Jerry, you're gonna start swiping on everyone, we're gonna get you someone to like a one night stand here. I'm like, please no. I had no control, no matches thankfully, so stayed full wholesome and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just like, it was so much fun having that experience of going through the airport, hotels. It was super humid and rainy, so it was like kind of ass at the same time with the weather. But the drivers there, holy crap, they're great drivers, but super aggressive, and they don't care what's going on. If they know they can do it, they're going to do it. It doesn't matter if it's like a close call. But yeah, the food was amazing there. I was like, holy shit. Grand Central, I think it was Grand Central Station. Oh, we had crepes there. Oh my god, so good. But yeah, that was like one of my favorite weeks of my life was that trip.
Love to hear it. Nice. Traveling. Alright. In the future, where do you want to travel to?
I want to go to Hawaii because I have never been there. I want to see what the hype is about. If that, go back to the Philippines, but stop by Japan. And then when it's not really dangerous out there, go to Israel because I want to see what it's like there. And then I think the very last place I would want to travel to visit, probably Italy, because I have some Italian blood and I would like to see like true authentic Italian food. So
All right.
that would be my thing.
Let's Now talk about socials, like social media.
All right.
Aside from Twitch
Mhm.
and YouTube for now, what
Mhm.
platforms are you on?
Currently, I have 2 Instagrams, one for my personal and one for my Twitch stuff. I have a bunch of Discord servers that I'm hosting and also participating in. I'm on Twitter that I'm starting to use more now. Now that I linked up my Twitch, so every time I go live, it's like shoots a thing out there. I have a TikTok that I'm starting to be more active on as well. Other than that, I have Snapchat. I had a Kick Messenger, and the funny thing is, I didn't think I was going to use these.
Mhm.
I stopped using my Facebook as well. But when I first got it, it was like because a girl told me to get it because they wanted to like talk to me on there, and so they convinced me to do it. And then, even though I'm not a type of person that likes to talk about myself, I ended up starting posting a lot of stuff, which was kind of fun. Just posting memories and other memes. So that's how I kind of like got into posting a lot on my Instagram, from time to time, and growing on social media through that.
Nice.
Mhm.
Okay, now let's talk about YouTube. YouTube journey. What did you do? What type of videos did you make? And what is your overall thoughts?
So being when I first started YouTube, uh I didn't have a camera. I didn't have anything to really capture. I didn't know what it took to make videos. So I thought, let me take my phone, prop it up, like we'll build like a stand of random crap in the house on this table, prop it up, have it face the screen, and I would film the screen as I played Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer the week it came out. And I had a really high pitched voice, a very soft voice, like kind of like this. I was like, "Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is redxr98 here. This is my first YouTube channel, your first YouTube video." And I talked like that for like 10 minutes, and I just straight up uploaded the YouTube app. And I kept doing that almost every day, or days I would like do a bulk recording and upload a bulk of it at a time until I got my laptop or a desktop, and I downloaded Fraps, and I downloaded the free Fraps, so it was a 30 seconds each clip playing Minecraft. But my computer didn't have 2 ports for audio, so it's either I would have my headset on or I would have my mic. And then I got into League of Legends from there. I made vlogs with friends. I would post my school videos. I think those are my favorite ones on there. And then my all-time favorite video was a video I did called Uber Booster. I did it. It didn't even take anything for any school stuff. It was just I wanted to make this video, and it was so cringe. But I got a bunch of my friends to help me with it, and it was so fun. My #1 video. I loved it. I posted a few concerts that we had at our school. Drake Bell performed. I filmed my experience at the Marvel Experience thing when I was younger. Even though you're technically not supposed to record there, I didn't know at the time. It still hasn't been taken down. It has like some of my highest views. But you could like every now and then you could see like little me in the reflection of the TV until I started like getting into showing my face, and it just got to. I was using Windows Movie Maker to edit all my videos because I had no editing software. One of my long distance exes at the time was helping me record things from her computer, and so that way I could use my headset and my mic, and so that way I didn't lag like hell on while I was recording.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there was like a bunch of stuff on that YouTube channel, gaming, vlogs, and just some stupid stuff that me and my friends would do. A lot of fun though.
I see.
Mhm.
Do you feel like it's hard to grow on YouTube?
Oh, 100%. The algorithm on YouTube is horrible for new content creators unless you have a quick boost of or like constant uploads and social media presence. YouTube's algorithm is like ass. The amount of ways that they're gonna put you out there, you have to focus on the tags, lots of clickbait titles, which are really hard to come by, really hard to find out how to do. And once you have that following, then it's like you can do whatever you want. Once you have a following, then you're good. You can post however you want, whenever you want. People will be there. But until you hit that little break is like the toughest grind, because that thing is still, I think, less than 200 subscribers, and I had that YouTube channel since 2012.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Switching gears. This is gonna be big. We're gonna talk about
Okay.
Twitch.
All right.
All right. Finally, Twitch. Something we could all relate to.
Yep.
Talk about how you heard about Twitch and what made you decide to become a streamer.
So when Twitch was starting out, I heard of it, and I was kind of skeptical about it because I was making videos on YouTube. So, I did try it for a little bit in 2015, I think. I tried for like a month or so. Didn't get anywhere. I barely hit like 100 followers 2 years ago. So until 2 years ago, I got 100 followers, I think, and from there, I finally understood that I just need to start networking. I need to start connecting. I need to start doing a bunch of stuff. So that's when I started rating people after every stream to try to grow that community.
Yeah.
And ever since then, like last year and part of the year before, we skyrocketed. I think just last year, we went through 526 followers. That's including like unfollows, refollows, all that stuff. People that we banned because once you ban someone, it removes them as a follower. So until last year, I was saying like less than 150 followers and 0 to 2 views every stream. Yeah, that was one hell of a thing. But once I started rating, then we got a boost and everything. That's how I met you, met everyone that I'm friends with now. Like every night, I started rating my friends that I streamed with. My friend Josh, I got him into rating every night. So then I would grow off of his community, and he would grow off of mine. And then now, here I am, somehow past 500 followers. I don't know how it happened, but you know, I'm thankful.
Very nice. What categories and like what categories did you stream before versus now, and what is your current schedule?
I streamed a lot of League of Legends and Minecraft when I first started. 100% was in. I love that game. League of Legends was the one that got me a lot of viewers because I would just post my stuff every game, win or loss, unless it was like a really toxic match. And then I didn't want to play Valorant at all. I was so against it because I didn't like the anti-cheat system. I didn't like how it was a kernel program. It took a lot for me to kind of like agree and be like, okay, fine, I'll download it. And now it's like Valorant has been my biggest viewership category, so I try to do only that. Every now and then I'll dip into League, Phasmo, do some just chatting. Whatever was kind of like along with the trends, and Valorant and League. Those Valorant and League have been like my top 2 categories.
All right. So talk about your day ones on Twitch. Who are your day ones, and are they still here? Like, what's up?
Ah, my god. I think I would consider my day ones like before I hit 50 followers, and I think I'm only keeping contact with the ones I know IRL really. After that, I haven't talked to any of those people that were used to be regulars in my chat.
Mm-hmm.
After the 50 followers was reached, I don't talk to anyone. Every now and then I'll jump into my friend Ari Bun's her streams, and when I rated her one time, or no, I didn't even rate her. I just followed her out of nowhere, and I was like, "Who is this person that I'm following?" Clicked on a channel, then I became friends with. I don't even talk to her anymore. It's just that we just stopped talking. No, nothing like that. It's just we both were like busy with our own schedules and people that we talked to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, unless it's like someone I knew IRL, I don't see any of my day ones.
Got it. How would you describe Joshi and Yuki?
So we
Sorry, laughing.
So in our friend group, we call each other Papa or Dad. I'm the dad of my stream, so I kind of adopted all my friends as like my kids and stuff like that. So Josh and Yuki, they have been there for so long. Josh has been there since me and him started reconnecting from Rock and Jump, and even though he can be a pain in my ass and he knows it, I would not trade his friendship for anything. Yuki, I knew of him in high school, but I never really talked to him. Every now and then I'll know him for one of my classes. But as of recent, and we reconnected because I kind of knew him through one of the girls I liked at first, who was also part of the friend group. It was his cousin, and our other friends were mutual friends. So then I started knowing Yuki again, and from there, Yuki's always there for me, like always there to make content with me. He's always hanging out, even if he's always on mute sometimes. He's always there having a laugh, so I always appreciate him. But yeah, Yuki and Josh have been like some of the number one supporters. They're mods in my chat. I have a bunch of other friends that I've been like always there for me. Now, once they start getting active in my chats, they're mods now. They went from just regular views to being mods in my chat because I could trust them as friends and more. They even help me moderate my discords.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are the pros and cons of Twitch? Your opinion. You've been here for quite some time.
Yeah. Twitch as a platform is great. I think it's the best streaming service that you could possibly try to get on. But as fair as it is to quote unquote grow based on viewership level, it also makes it really hard for people to actually gain that growth. And as of recently, it's been becoming more like apparent how bad they really show care for their streamers with the whole like mess of the hate raids, DMCA strikes, stuff like that. Like they're a mess, and they're trying to scramble to fix it. They're just not doing it in the right way. And I don't think I'll jump to any other streaming service. I think I will stay on Twitch just because I've built that community here. Maybe if I like got a huge deal from like YouTube Gaming or Facebook Gaming, sure. But in the long run, Twitch will always be here. So it would take a lot for me to divorce Twitch as a streaming service.
Mm-hmm. So those are like pros and cons.
Yeah,
What would you say?
Yep, really good, fair way to start out, but also really shit to really get there.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
How would you say Twitch has impacted your life personally?
Oh my gosh. my bank account for one, the amount of investments I had to make into like buying all my PC stuff. But besides that joke, the amount of friendship and community I've built due to Twitch and all the people I've connected with here, I think really, like, I'm not even exaggerating, saved my life. Like, there's only so much my friends themselves can do for me, but until I had that outlet to be myself, be who I want to be, and just hope for that validation that I can be who I am and people aren't going to instantly hate me like they did in high school and everything like that, I could have a place to grow as a person. It really did say, like, it saved my life from a lot, like, what would have been like stupid decisions of what I would want to do with my life. It definitely influenced my path of being a filmmaker and a content creator. I love that spot that, in spite of me being on camera all the time, I actually hate being on camera, but Twitch makes it so natural, as if it's not stage, it's not forced. It's like a casual conversation between you as a streamer and your viewers, as if they were just your friends and you're just vibing. So yeah, I give a lot of thanks to Twitch.
All right. What would you consider as your favorite stream or favorite memory so far on Twitch?
I think my top 3 would be my cat made stream, my toga cosplay from My Hero, and then, as painful as it was, my 24-hour stream with the spicy ramen challenge. Oh my god, was that last one so painful, because I had 10 packs of ramen, spicy ramen.
Yeah.
And I made 6 of those packs throughout the night, and I would eat it, and I was dying. Like, at one point, my eyelid went numb. I couldn't feel my mouth, I couldn't feel my hands, but I was still playing. And people were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I am not." But it was such a fun experience. That I would not have redone that. I would never do it again, but I would never not do that if I had to go back.
Okay, and on the flip side, have you ever come across trolls and hate? If so, how did you respond?
Yeah, actually I did. A few times, actually. I think the biggest one was I was in a league game and this guy was talking so much trash. I posted my link afterwards. He came into chat and he started like trying to flame me, and I couldn't help but laugh and just make fun of him back. I was like, "Bro, you're telling me I fed? I was the support. I got the assist. I had a better KDA than you. I'm not the reason you died. You're just bad." And I went like step by step. I even pull up like the match history and like all this stats. Like, bro, you look how bad you are. And when my mod banned him, I was like, no, unban him. I want to keep talking to him. I want him to understand what it's like trying to trash talk someone just because you're mad. It doesn't work like that. You can't get away with trying to troll someone. You can't just let them say their piece and stuff like that. You have to stand up for yourself. So I would, when things like that happen, I was like, no, don't unban them yet. I will ban them when I'm ready. I'm going to let them say what they want, and then I'm going to tell them why, one, they're wrong, two, what they did just shows how bad they are as a person and how toxic they are, and three, show that whatever you say is not going to affect how I'm going to act towards my stream, my chat, and viewers. Like, I'm not going to let one troll ruin my vibe here because you think you can do that just because you got mad at me for a game.
Nice. What a specific story.
Yeah, it was like the most recent thing. So I was like, oh, I know. I had that.
Okay. So how did you come up with your Twitch name?
So redxr98 started. It went through like 20 different name changes throughout my life. When I first started playing games on the PlayStation 2, we had Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I love R2D2. He was my favorite character. So I made my profile name, my in-game name, X2D2. And then when I had to make another account, it went XRD2, XRDR, and then later XR. And as I made different accounts on different websites, they had to start being longer names, stuff like that. So I put XR98, or because my favorite color was red. I love red from Pokemon. Even though I didn't get to play the original games, I loved the idea of them. And red was my favorite trainer from like the manga. And anytime he was like featured, he was so cool because his team was insane. So red was tacked on there. So it was red XR, red X, and then finally red XR98 because my birth name 98, or my birth year was 98, and I tacked that together, and that kind of stuck to what would fit all my usernames that I needed for any of my accounts. So it kind of stuck there since oh wow, I think since end of elementary school. I've had redxr98 as my main name for everything, and it just recently became RXP, redxr Productions, for my my Instagram, my business one.
Nice. The story behind the name.
Yep. All thanks to Star Wars and red being such a good color.
Mm-hmm. Have you done any Twitch meetups yourself yet?
Yeah, it was actually cool. I met Kat was my first friend that I met in person due to Twitch. I didn't know how close they would be, and we just ended up. She showed up to my birthday.
What?
Yeah, she came to my birthday. She drove so far down here just to hang out for my birthday with someone that she never met in person. I was like, holy crap, I'm meeting one of my online friends for the first time. And yeah, so it was kind of like it was so fun. It was myself, her, Josh, Cordell, Yuki, Andrew got to meet her. Unique got to meet her. I think Unique was there. Yeah, because he was there on my birthday. So, yeah. And we hung out the whole day. Like, it was so fun. I knew she was short, but when we were looking for her, I was like, she was like kind of lost in the parking lot. I was kind of walking out. We were like, we instantly knew where she was, and we waved her down. She was as tall as one of our other friends. And since we're all like relatively short, except for like a few people,
Yeah.
it was just so funny how we all like, she told us she was short, but we kind of didn't really register in our mind until that day. And yeah, and that day she also gave me like one of the coolest birthday presents.
Oh.
She painted this for me because Nautilus was my is my main, and Astronautilus was my favorite skin.
Holy.
So, and because I was playing a lot of Among Us at the time, it says redxr was an imposter. So I have this, a few other like knickknacks.
It's so cool.
She got me this magnet Pikachu, and I have this on my stream mic every day. So every time I'm streaming, I always see that face. And yeah, her and all my other friends that were there made it like, it was just a great time to meet one of my first online friends.
Yeah.
And also be told that I wasn't creepy, because in high school, girls thought I was creepy, or they would only be friends with me because they thought I was gay.
Okay.
And so I never like was able to understand why people thought I was creepy or anything like that. So being told that I was creepy and I was actually like I was treated like a person was really a boost of confidence for myself socially. So yeah, it was just it definitely made that birthday very memorable.
How'd you meet Kat? What's the story behind that?
Just like how I met you, I just raided her one night. I was out raiding. I was ending my stream, and I was looking for someone with a funny title and name. And me and Josh found her channel, and we sent it over. And from there, I just kept raiding her after every night if I didn't find anyone else. And we kind of slowly started getting into each other's chats and building up that kind of friendship like I did with you. And now everything is like we've only known each other for maybe a year, and I can go to her like as if I've known her for like years.
Got it. Really cool. Okay, so what advice would you give to people who are trying to start off on Twitch or are just trying to grow?
Networking is the most important thing. Like I said, Twitch is a great place to start, but it's not the place to grow. Post on all your social media. After every night, it doesn't matter if you have 2 viewers, 3 viewers, or no viewers. Raid someone that's around your stream viewership level with a few more people above, because that way you can get exposure for yourself and them. You can build a community, and who knows, you may make a connection. And from there, just keep going. Find people that are just a little bit smaller than you once you hit a certain threshold. Raid people that are just a tiny bit higher than you, and so on and so forth. Don't be shy. Find someone that you care, that you can see like, oh, this person may be cool to stream with later on as well. Try to see who you can think are possible connections and network buddies to collab later on. And who knows, maybe you'll make like actual dear friends. That's what I've done. And here I am.
Got it. Nice. Love the advice.
Yep.
Alright, so this is for the people.
Okay.
How does it feel to be famous?
We're gonna have to. I would say, how does it feel to be known? I don't want to say famous yet. You're the one that's famous here. I'm honored to be as a guest here. It's really nice to know that I have a community, and people definitely do want to come to my streams and be active. It's definitely a weird feeling when people like say you're their comfort streamer, because being famous is cool and it's definitely what I strive to be. I definitely do want to make this as like my money job. So when I talk about like, yeah, this is for money, it's for money, but also the fact that I want this community. I definitely think that it was kind of a nice reassurance of that I'm definitely heading in the right direction, that people would say that I'm their comfort streamer. I never thought I would be someone's comfort streamer, being as chaotic as I can be, or as spastastic as I've been on my other streams. I never thought that I would be able to make that safe space for people to just come by, chill, vibe, even if they're just lurking, just to have it up.
Yeah.
But I would probably use the word famous once I get to more your level. I really want to be up there like that. I strive for that sense.
Okay, so my next question. Alright, if you don't think you're famous, right? So what would you classify or consider as like a mid-tier streamer? Everyone has their own opinion. So we're not talking about like big streamers like Pokimane, like Kuno, right? We're talking about small to mid-level. So what would you say?
I think realistically, the part where you're like you can be considered a mid-tier is when you hit 10k followers and you have a steady average viewership of above 100 is where you start to enter that mid-tier zone. Because of how vast of a platform Twitch is, the sense of how big of a streamer you are can really fluctuate into like you said, the perception of like people's opinions of what's big and what's not. If you're comparing it to, like, let's say, like we were saying, like the big streamers of Pokimane, stuff like that, then mid tier would be probably entering where I said 10k. But having that sense of viewership of 100 and up average views, that's where I would say is the peak of small into getting into that mid tier. You're already definitely probably partnered up, and you're on that set of growth. I think where I am now until that part is definitely that giant mid-low tier, and then getting towards those like 5k followers and like 50 something average views. That's going to be the end of small streamers and closer to that mid tier.
Nice to hear from your perspective. Okay, and to finish up with Twitch, you personally, how much do you care about numbers? Like, how much does it affect you too?
Definitely a lot. Because of my self-confidence issues, definitely having less than like 3 views or 4 viewers definitely hurts my idea of if I'm being entertaining or if I'm doing things right. So to block out those numbers while I'm in mid-stream, I actually turn off my viewer count so I can't see it. So no matter how big or how small the stream is, I feel like I'm still talking to people. It definitely can get very discouraging seeing like a fluctuation in viewership numbers or averages, but after a little bit I was able to kind of like realize like it's okay, there's gonna be quiet days, numbers are gonna fluctuate. That's what happens when you're dealing with something live and having to grind it out. So definitely anxious to grow, but accepting that slow, steady pace.
Okay, well said. Actually, I have one more question.
Okay. For sure.
So, what are your thoughts about having a Twitch crush? And do you have one?
I felt like this was gonna happen.
I mean, we're talking
Honestly,
about Twitch, so...
Yeah, true. I do have a Twitch crush. I don't know if it will be anything more than like the whole idea of a Twitch crush. The very basic like want to be in the stream all the time. When it comes to Twitch relationships, I think you can look at it 2 ways: content and money, or realistically changing your life. People will go either way. It's never one or the other. People will either want to get into that Twitch relationship for the content and revenue that they can pull from that whole like, oh my god, they're a couple, or oh, what happens when there's drama? You know, people are going to want to see that. That's going to grow viewership. And then the either they split off and there's that huge drama that builds both of them up, or they flourish as a Twitch couple. Other times, I think that people are actually trying to find someone that shares a common interest, and it kind of fixes that kind of problem of a long distance relationship, because from there you guys like you can collab, you can actually talk, you can be together, you know, you can interact. It's live, you know, there's not much that you can do to filter yourself on a spot. You know, there's ways to now communicate off stream of Discord, different ways to keep in contact that kind of help with that gap of distance if it does turn out to be like that. Or you never know who's like, you raid someone and they're actually very local and you meet up and boom, you grow and have that kindled relationship growing. So it can either I want one that will benefit both. Honestly, I want that kind of sincere relationship that can grow from something like a Twitch crush. That would be really dope. And to flourish career wise, both of us flourishing off of each other would be a dream. Is that I know that one, I'm not leeching anything, you know, I'm actually giving back and also helping my partner grow and supporting them however I can. And whether that be sitting down on my computer playing video games with them all day and then sending the viewers back and forth, then you know what? If that helps them, then I'm all for it. I'll support them however I can.
Mhm. Nice. Okay. So, the Twitch crush, private or public info?
Private for
Alright.
now. We'll see. Like, at this point, like right now, definitely just see it as just friends.
Mhm.
I don't think they know or have any clue that I have a Twitch crush on them. So until I can talk to them more, without kind of like forcing conversation too much, I think it's fine if it stays that way. That way, I get to know them more before I kind of trust
Okay.
my emotions with them again. Because with my last relationships and past relationships, I definitely have a very strong hesitation towards it.
Mhm.
But yeah, so hey, if it ever gets official and you know they're cool with it, then who knows? And maybe this other girl that I'm trying to talk to as well, the IRL, if that takes off and becomes a relationship, then I have a relationship with them instead. And then I'll be like, is it cool if I tell my Twitch chat that I'm dating you? And then if they're like cool, then they're like cool. I'll make an announcement like, hey guys, I did it. I got the girlfriend buff. I could be a true gamer now. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Switching gears briefly, talking about Valorant. Favorite agent in the game and least favorite?
Favorite is definitely Sage. Least favorite, Raze, and then Yoru tied for least favorite. Raze is way too built for offense than she needs. That no matter what, she has some way of doing damage. Yoru just for some reason people that are Yoru mains either fit the stereotypical Chad vibes of gaming or they're regular gamers. It depends on that. So that kind of put a sour taste of the agent itself in me was the community. But Sage is just you can battle Sage, you can self-sustain, you can have people bark for you for heals, and that's always a fun thing to do for content. Make people bark. So yeah, and then KO is just a vibe. I love KO. His suppress and kit was the first thing to speak to me when I started getting to the game. So
Okay. Favorite gun in the game and least favorite?
favorite gun would probably be, and I know this is very controversial for a lot of people, Ares. I think the Ares is my favorite gun. I'm so glad it got a buff so it can actually be usable again.
Wow.
Before the Ares, it was probably be the Phantom. Phantom and Vandal are like back and forth between if I am feeling it or not. Least favorite though, Frenzy. I hate the Frenzy so much. I think that it is one of the worst worst guns in the game. So I'd rather use one of the Buckies or something like that, or a Shorty than a Frenzy.
Okay. Your favorite skin set?
Ooh. I'd probably say the Ruin King, just because I love Viego and I love the lore behind him in League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they bring something League of Legends-esque into it, I'm just like, oh, that is so cool.
Nice.
So yeah, the
Okay.
Ruin King set is so dope. Second would be Elder Flame, because I love dragons.
Got it. Okay, and now rank your maps from favorite to least.
Favorite would probably be Haven. Ascent, Split, then Icebox, then Fracture, and lastly, Breeze. I hate Breeze.
Where would you put Bind?
Oh, that's right, Bind's a map. Probably in the top 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
I totally forgot about that map. It's not even a
All
bad
good.
map too. Yeah.
All right. Now, at this point, we're coming towards the end of the podcast. So, if anyone in chat has a question for Red, feel free to ask and I'll read it to him. Other than that, I have a few random questions of my own.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, you
It's
mentioned
fun.
you like Pokemon. Favorite
Yes.
Pokemon?
Oh, that's sorry. I'll give you my top 3.
Okay.
Chimchar, Totodile, and then lastly would probably be Garchomp. Garchomp's so dope.
Okay.
Legendary wise though, Rayquaza. Rayquaza
Ooh.
is just a
I like
beast.
it. Mhm.
Yep.
Biggest pet peeves.
People accusing for no reason. Like I'll be doing something and they'll accuse me of something that they would know that's not characteristic of me, or would go off of a basis of assumption and without knowing anything about it. Hate that.
Okay. Biggest fear.
Clowns. 100%. Those, they're freaky. The paint and the big nose. It's funny because the reason why I'm scared of clowns, my 3rd birthday or 3rd and 4th birthday, I forgot which one. My parents surprised me with a birthday clown. I got traumatized and I ran into the bathroom and I started crying. I locked myself in there and I hid under the sink for like an hour.
Serious.
And yeah, I was like, this is not good.
What would you consider as your best trait or characteristic?
My best trait and characteristic, probably my ability to laugh anything off now. That has been a savior, especially for like any intense situations. I can just kind of laugh something off and they're like, everything's better now. I'm like, yeah, sure. Other than that, I think my empatheticness is pretty strong. It's not like straight up detail, but like if someone's feeling something and they explain it to me, I can definitely put myself somewhat similar just so I can assess like, okay, this is how bad they feel, and I would kind of just like be able to comfort them.
Mhm.
I'm very good at coddling someone just so they can vent until they feel like they're ready to go on to like the next step of like whatever their problem is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What would you consider as your greatest accomplishment in life so far and your greatest failure or regret?
My greatest accomplishment would probably be the 500 followers at the moment.
Nice.
I think that realization of that community is what keeps me going. My greatest failure though, I got a lot of those. Probably not knowing how to ride a bike.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be it.
Never too late. Learn.
Never too late. Still learning how to drive, got that going.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Last 3. What was your first impression of me?
When I saw all the the anime and comic stuff in the background, I was like, this guy is a vibe. I saw the positive vibes and everything, and I saw all the artwork on the back. I was like, dude, this guy is so cool. What the fuck? So I was like, when I started the raid at first, before I even interacted, I was like, okay, what can I identify from the wall? I saw the Demon Slayer, I saw the Justice League, I saw Spider-Man. I see like other DC artwork. I think that's an Avengers poster, stuff like that. Like that was like the first, and I was like, this guy's a vibe, 100%.
Nice first impression.
Yep.
And then yeah, we just kept going back and forth, right?
Yeah. You hopped in my chat and lurked. I went back and forth in your chat and all that fun stuff until like it was off. One of us was not streaming, then would like actually talk in each other's Twitch chats, and then from there, you invited me into your Discord server for that one karaoke night.
Yeah.
And that's like where it like skyrocketed as like we were able to grow as like not just like networking or just Twitch buddies, but actual friends now. At least I can consider like us like actual good friends, which is insane.
Love it. Love the backstory. It was like when I the first few times I met you, the basketball stream, like your IRL streams.
Yep. That was for my friend Josh. He was doing his basketball league, and he invited me to come so I could live stream it for him on my channel. So I'm not a sports person, so I only played basketball recreationally, and then one time in a youth league for one summer. So I didn't know what was going on really, but I'll make my side comments and all my jokes and just kind of try to enjoy being there, even though I didn't know what was going on most of the time. And it was all the loud whistling, which was definitely a lot of sensory overload. Was a lot of the whistles and buzzers was definitely not the vibe, but we made it work.
Got it. All right, last two. In no particular order, who are the top 5 streamers that you find yourself watching nowadays?
Probably Ludwig, Disguised Toes, Pokimane, every now and then Wilbur Soot, Tommy Innit, and then on rare occasions I'll go back to Sneaky and Saikuno.
Okay. A lot of big names.
Yep, those are at least when I think of my top 5 streamers, the big ones. Other than that, I'm like always in everyone else's like chats. I'm just like, "What's up, friends? How's it going?"
Yeah.
I'll just vibe.
And lastly, using your connection, who would you like to see as a future guest on this podcast and why?
Ooh. Let's see. Let's drag Joshy Plays and Devious Cornelius and Cat. I want all 3 of them to fight, and whoever wins can choose out of the 3 of them who would be volunteer. Josh, I think would be fun to have because he's kind of quiet as like myself at times, but he's also a pretty decent vibe to just have around. He's shy, and there's a lot about him that people don't know yet, and I think that he would definitely need something like this to kind of like branch out more to grow, because I want to see him grow as well as a streamer. Cordell, super funny. He's like one of my hype guys. He has more charisma than me, and I think he would be a very entertaining person on stream. I want him to grow as well. Plus he has a VTuber model, so his VTuber model is like Walmart. If you guys watch Fate Stay Night, he has Walmart Archer vibes, Shiro Emiya vibes for his VTuber model. So all my weebs out there, definitely check him out. It's funny. And then Kat, I want to throw her out there because it would be funny seeing her be like, "Oh, I don't know what's going on," or her whole personality is just really great. She deserves to grow as well. I think all 3 of them having a chance to be on a podcast like this would be really fun to see, especially because last time when they were on my streams, when they came over, Kat literally looked at the camera kind of like frozen. She's like, I don't know how to stream anymore. So kind of having her like out of her element would be so funny to see.
Nice. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, that's a wrap. That's it for me. Do you have any last few words?
What's your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I actually have like 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Rayquaza,
Nice, solid.
Charizard, Typhlosion, Sceptile, and Lugia.
Dude, those are all solid choices. What the hell? Nice.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
I honestly would think that Dragonite would also be in your top. I don't know why. I feel like Dragonite also
fair.
would be something.
That is fair.
But the Dragon types are always a vibe to go with.
Agreed.
Mhm.
All right. How are you feeling now?
Uh, definitely enjoyed this whole experience. Like I said, like I say it somewhat jokingly, but also sincere. Like it's an honor being chosen, being on this podcast. It's a lot of fun. Definitely learned a little bit about myself that I didn't realize until after I started like talking about it. So it's really fun too.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's basically it.
All right. I'm just gonna close this off for the YouTube segment, and then after that, I'll let you go.
Sounds
Let
good.
you do your thing.
Sounds good, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the stream. This has been the Chang Gang Podcast, episode 44, featuring Red. Red, thank you so much for committing the time for this. It's been 2 hours and 41 minutes. Let's go.
Oh, jeez, that's gonna be fun to edit.
Nah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Oh, hell yeah. Can't wait.
Guys, make sure to drop him a follow if you haven't already using the !guest command. This is going to be on YouTube within the next few days. Other than that, Red, say a few words to those watching through YouTube.
My last final words will be peace, love, and prosper. Hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy the vibes and have a good one.
Alright guys, with that being said, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already and hit that subscribe button. Turn on post notification through the bell, and we'll see you guys next time.
Oh yeah.
Peace.